Okay, so hopefully you have updated your profile so that people can find you based on your knowledge and interests in the work that you do, that you've added a photograph and some detail about you, and also that you've had a look in the search to just use some keywords to find some messages across the whole platform, so you can identify some channels that you would want to join because they are of interest to you, and also so that you can just see how useful the adding detail to your profile is in terms of how people can find you on the space. So the last thing to do, and probably the most important thing to do on Slack, is to set up your notification schedule. So go up to your profile icon up here and go to your preferences. Now the first option you come to is notifications, and on default it should say, I think, all new words or all new messages give you a notification. What you want to do is change it to direct messages, mentions and keywords. That way you come down here to your keywords list, and in here you just add any words that you want to know about when people are mentioning them in messages and conversations, and separate them with a comma. And then what happens is every time one of those words is mentioned in a channel that you're in, then a red number will be generated next to that channel. So in home you can see that community, climate, future, those are all keywords of mine. They've been highlighted here because they're my keywords, or some of them. And each time one of those is mentioned in a message, I will get told that a new message is in there with a red number saying that something of interest is there for me. Now, once you've got that set up, if you find you've got too many messages coming through or too many notifications, just go into your preferences again and go down to your keywords and just play around with them. Be as specific as you can. Obviously, mentioning climate will mean that you'll get lots and lots of them, and it's almost pointless having it in there, to be perfectly honest, because so many messages are centered around that being a climate community. But just change them, and what you'll find is you can play around with it to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed. Now, just to highlight how powerful this is, or how effective it is, this is GovDigital. The workspace here has almost 20,000 users. And if we look at all the channels I'm in, I've subscribed to almost 100 channels, I think, in here. And within all those channels, I get about one, sometimes no messages a week, or no notifications a week, because if you look in my preferences, you can see that my keywords are really sparse. Climate's very rarely mentioned in here, and neither are any of these. So I may get at most like 3 messages or 3 notifications a week, and usually I get 1 or 0. So there's really no way that if you're using Slack correctly, you should be getting overwhelmed by loads and loads of notifications. And also, when you come on here, if you're in a channel like home, for example, and it's telling you that there's loads of unread new messages in there, just click on the cross and get rid of them. You don't have to know about absolutely everything that happens in the platform. If it's really important and you need to know about it, then someone will mention you in a message, or they'll send you a direct message. So you'll appear in a direct message, a thread, or you'll get a notification next to a channel because you're mentioned in a message. And that's it. You should be all set up and ready to go with Slack, and not have too many problems at all. If you do have any problems, just give me a shout. You can always mention me in a message at Ian Cable, obviously, Education Co-Lead, and I'm in almost every channel, so it doesn't matter what one you use, or you can just direct message me instead. Okay.